Now we have come to discuss the main parts of the skeleton. So according to the books, the skeleton is divided into two main parts, for which we have the axial and the appendicular skeleton. So let's start with the axial skeleton. Axial skeleton is the center bony axis of the body, consisting of about 80 bones that form the skull, vertebral column, rib cage, and the hyoid bone. So as you can see, those are the bones yung nasa picture. Those are the bones that belongs to the axial skeleton part. It provides support and protection for the body's vital organ as its main function. Organ protection as well is one of its main function. It protects our brain, heart, and those vital organs that is inside our ribs. Number 1, axial skeleton contains the skull. Alam naman natin yung main function ng skull, pero the skull is the bony structure of the head that protects the brain and provide the framework for our face. The skull is made up of 28 bones, so originally 22 lang yung standard count for the skull, pero since added yung associated bones, naging 28 ito. Kinokompleto to siya ng cranium, for which made up of 8 bones, with our facial bones na meron namang 14 bones, and yung additional, the auditory ossicles, for which it has 6 tiny bones. Fused together in early childhood. A newborn skull is not a single solid bone, but consists of several plates connected by a flexible joint called sutures. So mapapansin natin, 'di ba, yung mga bagong silang na baby, yung mga sanggol, yung ulo nila hindi ito solid or matigas kung ikukumpara sa adult. So bakit ito siya nangyayari? So usually during childbirth, it allows the baby's head to reshape, resulting sa madaling paglabas nito sa birth canal ng mother. So as well as accommodate the rapid growth of the brain during infancy. The next one protects the brain, eyes, and ears. Yes, very easy to understand. Skull. It protects the vital organs we have in our head, such as eyes, brain, and ears. The last one is balance mechanisms are found in the ears. So yung inner ear natin, which contains the balance mechanism, is located directly within the temporal bone of our skull. In essence, the skull is the protective of and a stabilizing home for the inner ear's balance mechanism. Axial skeleton contains number 2, the sternum. So sternum is a flat bone at the center of the chest that protects the heart, lungs, and major blood vessels. So as what it says here, sternum is one of the axial skeleton and a protector of our heart, and is located at the center of our chest. As you can see, yung color red na yan, that is what we call sternum. Aside from protecting our vital organs, sternum serves as a central connection point for the clavicles, or para madaling maintindihan, this is what we call collarbone, and most of the ribs via costal cartilage. And lastly, several important muscles of the chest, neck, and so on is attached to our sternum. So the sternum consists of three parts, which is the manubriums, body, and the xiphoid process. Manubrium, when we say manubrium, it is a superior broad and shaped like quadrangular top segment of the sternum. It provides the attachment point for the upper ribs and the collarbones, forming a crucial part of the skeletal framework of the upper chest. The body, or also known as the gladiolus, it is in the middle, largest, and the longest segment of the sternum. From its name itself, yan pong exact na body na bumubuo sa sternum natin, or glandulus. It is formed the central part of the rigid framework of the rib cage, which protects the heart and lungs. It as well provides stability to the chest wall by acting as an anchoring point for the true ribs. The last one is the xiphoid process. Xiphoid process is the smallest, most inferior or yung pinakababa tiny bone. The function of this tiny bone beneath the body of sternum is to provide attachment sites for several key muscles that are involved in respiration and abdominal movement. Sternum is a large flat bone at the front of the rib cage. So, yan pong red na yan. Makikita natin yung red from that part hanggang sa dun sa pinakamaliit na tiny bone. And the last one is, it helps to make the rib cage stronger. Number 3 is the ribs. So the ribs are the 12 pairs of curved flat bones that forms the rib cage, protecting the organs within the chest and aiding in respiration. So those curves na may mga number, as you can see, that is what we call rib. It acts as a protective barrier for crucial organs. It provides structural support for our upper body, shoulder, girdle, and our head. So the ribs are made up of 12 pairs joined to the vertebral column. So every humans have 12 pairs of ribs. Each was articulates within the corresponding thoracic vertebra and the spine at the back. Those are associated with our vertebral column or our backbone and the ribs. 7 pairs are joined to the sternum. So, makikita po natin sa picture na provided, may mga numbers po yan from 1 to 7. As you can see, those are the ribs that are attached to our sternum directly, for which, because of this, these 7 pairs are all regarded as the true ribs because they are directly attached to the sternum itself. 3 pairs are joined to the 7th ribs. From 8 to 10 naman, makikita natin yung ribs na sa may pinakababa. Starting from 8 to 10, those are the ribs na tinatawag nating false ribs kasi nga, they are not directly attached to the sternum. Nakakapit ito sila kay number 7 via its costal cartilage. 2 ribs are unattached. So, it is also known as the floating ribs, are the last 2 pairs of ribs in the human body. Yang 11 to 12, they are called floating ribs because they are not the same as the others, but is only attached to the vertebra in the back. No, wala silang anterior attachment to the sternum or to the costal ribs of the other ribs. So they are different. Therefore, they are called floating ribs kasi sa backbone lang sila nakakonect, hindi sa sternum or kagaya ng ginawa ng false ribs sa true ribs. Now, moving on to the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton is one of the 2 major divisions of the human skeleton, composed of the bones of the limbs and girdle that attach them to the axial skeleton. So, our mobility depends on our appendicular skeleton. So, as you can see, yung sa picture sa gitna, sa gilid, it highlights our limbs, girdles, and our joints that forces our movement. Here's the few components of our appendicular skeleton. Number 1, we have the shoulder girdle. So, shoulder girdle is the set of bones that connects the upper limbs to axial skeleton. So, it is an anatomical rings of bones that are attached the upper limbs to the trunk of the body or the axial skeleton. It is primary design priority is mobility rather than stability, allowing for the wide range of motion characterized of human arms. The shoulder girdle is a makeup of two clavicles and scapulas each side. So the girdle is composed of two pairs of bones, which is the clavicle or yung collarbone natin. Clavicle is the only direct bony link between the entire upper limb, articulating with the manubrium of the sternum, while the scapula naman is a flat triangular bone located in the back. It is a crucial bone that serves several important functions related to mobility, stability, and attachment for the upper limb. The second one is it is only linked by muscles to our vertebral column. So this gives us great flexibility in our arm and shoulder. So yes, it is only linked to the vertebral column only by muscles, not by direct bone-to-bone joints. So this provides the great flexibility and allows extensive range of motions found in our arms and our shoulders. The second components of our appendicular skeleton is our arms. So arms is the upper limbs of the human body, extending from the shoulder to the fingertips. The arms are a core part of appendicular skeleton. Arms contains our humerus, radius, and ulna. So humerus is the single bone of the upper arm and articulates with the scapula at the shoulder joint. Humerus provides the main structural framework for the upper arm. It acts as a lever for muscles, enabling movements such as lifting and so on. The radius and ulna naman, on the other hand, are the two long bones of the forearm extending from elbow to the wrist, and the two allows for pronation, like turning our palm downward, and supination. They are to facilitate versatile movements of the arms and hands. Second, arms. In our arms, there are 8 carpal bones in the wrist. So may kita naman natin dyan. Yang maliliit na yan sa may palm natin banda, yang maliliit na parang circle or tinatawag nating irregular shaped bones are what we call the carpal bones. They are organized into a proximal closest to the forearm, which is the radius and ulna, and they provide flexibility and structure to the hand. The last one, 14 phalanges in each hand. So these small long bones are the bony segments of our finger. Nakita po natin itong kulay mint green na yan, or ito. Here. So these are the phalanges, or yung tinatawag nating phalanges. Their purpose is simple. They give our finger structure and flexibility. So moving on to the third components of our appendicular skeleton, we have the hip girdle. Hip girdle are more commonly known as the pelvic girdle. So our hip girdle is a strong, largely immobile structure designed to bear the weights of the upper body and transfer that weight to the legs. They also provide support and stability for the trunk and a attachment point for the muscles of our legs, lower back, and abdomen. While it is crucial for walking and all leg activity, it is as well protects internal organs that is located in the pelvic cavity, such as the bladders, reproductive organs. When it comes to its shape, makikita natin dito na it is formed by a 2 large hip bones or a coxal bones. It is made up of 2 halves, each formed by 3 bones which are fused together on each side. As I said, it is made up of two large symmetrical coxal bones which that form the two halves. Pagbata pa, each of these halves consists of three separate bones that eventually fuse together during adolescence to form a single solid adult hip bone. So the three bones that fuse together on each sides are the ilium, ischium, and the pubis. So ilium is the bone that is marked with a red. Yan po, yung red na yan, sa gitay, yung pinakamalaking bone, that is the ilium. It function as a support to our upper body's weight and provide a large surface area. Sa ischium naman is the lower end part of the hip bone. It is the seat bone, which mean it supports and bears our body's weight whenever na uupo tayo. Lastly, the pubis. Yung yellow na yan sa gitna. The pubis bone from both left and right side of the pelvis meet in the center to form a joint called the pubic symphysis. Yes, pubic symphysis, which helps complete the protective ring of the pelvic girdle. So together, these three bones fused and create a steady structure that provide stability, supports the upper body's weight, and protects our internal organs. So the next one is, it says sa book, the female pelvis is generally wider and more open than the male pelvis. So the statement that is provided from the book is a long-standing hypothesis in evolutionary biology known as the obstetrical dilemma. But recent research suggests the premise about running inefficiently is nothing but incorrect. So the female pelvis is indeed wider, shallower, and more open compared to the male pelvis, just to facilitate childbirth. So contrary to the traditional hypothesis, recent experimental studies have found no significant difference in running or walking efficient between men and women based on solely on pelvic width. The fourth component of our appendicular skeleton is the legs. Human legs are a major component of the appendicular skeleton, which is the part of the skeleton that includes the bones of the limbs and the girdles that attach them to the actual skeleton. So the legs are crucial to the functions of appendicular skeleton. As what I have said kanina, they focuses on mobility rather than stability. So, as they are adapted for mobility, weight-bearing movements, and locomotion, and so on. We have the femur, tibia, and the fibula. Femur, also known as the thigh bone, yan pong sa baba ng hip girdle. It is the longest, heaviest, and strongest bone of the human body. Makikita o matatagpuan natin ito sa upper leg natin. It is as well extended from the hip to our knee and plays a critical role in weight-bearing, stability, and movements. Tibia and fibula naman, the tibia or the shin bone and the fibula, also known as the calf bone, are the two long bones that make up the lower leg, connecting the knee to the ankle. So, yung tibia, yan yung pinakamalaking bone sa lower leg natin. Its function is the main weight-bearing bone of the lower leg, transferring the body's weight from our femur down to the foot. It plays essential role in standing, moving, and maintaining balance. So, the fibula, on the other hand, is a long, slender bone na katabi lang ng tibia. Yan pong maliit na yan. May naka-indicate naman dyan na arrow. So although it bears a very little weight, its primary functions are to provide structural support to the lower leg and stabilize the ankle joints and serve as an attachment point for numerous muscles involved in foot and the ankle movement. So the next one, these are the 7 tarsals in each foot. So nakikita nyo itong colored irregularly shaped bones and is located in the midfoot, sa gitna po ng foot natin. Yan pong colored bones na yan na merong hindi karaniwang shaped. It provides support and stability for weight bearing and locomotion. The next one is the 5 metatarsals in the foot. So, along with the tarsal bones and the metatarsals, the metatarsal bears and distribute our body's weight. Metatarsals are the 5 colored mint green bones that form the main body of our foot, connecting our ankle to our toes. The last one is the 14 phalanges in each foot. So, there are 14 phalanges din dito sa paa natin, nothing different from our hands. They are the same, where the thumb has 2 phalanges and the other 4 has 3 each. So, the phalanges we have in our foot are typically shorter and stronger than those in our hand, reflecting their primary role in balance and weight bearing. And that is all for my part. Thank you everyone. Again, I am Kakarnaima M for Group 2 Reporter, discussing about the main parts of the skeleton. Thank you.